Hi guys, and welcome to another one of my everyday makeup drawer videos. It's been a hot minute since I filmed one of these. That is in large part because I've been testing all the drugstore products you've seen for the drugstore spring roundup that I've been doing. If you've missed that series, I will link it down below. But what has happened is I've completely neglected this everyday makeup drawer. And beyond that, I also feel like what I ended up happening was that I was using this drawer almost as a testing ground for new makeup, which is fine, except for the fact that I really think I want this drawer to be more of a rotation of makeup that is already in my collection that I want to make sure that I'm using. But what you're going to see is that I'm really going to start just putting products in here that are already in my collection. So I'm going to skip putting new makeup in here. Instead, I'm going to put new makeup in this new little acrylic drawer system over here. So as you can see, I've got this 4-drawer acrylic over here, and it has kind of the top 2 drawers reserved for my Project Pan makeup so that they're front and center. I can see them and grab them easily every single day. And what I want to do is make these bottom 2 drawers where I'm putting new makeup to test. That way I can change it in and out as much as I need to in order to get reviews up for you guys, separate from what's going on in this drawer here. So going forward, this drawer is going to be a true shop my stash. We're not going to be putting new products in here. We're going to be going through my existing collection. We're going to be pulling things to play around with for the next month and then rotating them out. I do intend to continue giving you guys my thoughts on these products as I've tried them over the past month. That way, if my feelings have changed on them, or if it's something I don't love anymore, or something I'm like still gaga over, you know my thoughts on the products. So still expect that in these videos. But like I said, we're going to now focus this drawer on products that I have in my collection and make this a true shop my stash. I will say, don't feel like because I'm not putting new products in here that you're not going to see new product reviews from me. That's not the case. You will definitely continue to see lots of new product reviews from me. I will just be using other vehicles than this drawer in order to give you those reviews. So without further ado, I feel like that was a super long intro. Let's get into what's in here now and what I'm going to pull out. And then we will do a true shop my stash to kind of replenish this. All right, let's start with this front section here. I had a rash of concealers in here, so I'm gonna pull out these 2 here. These are from Ulta. This is a color corrector and a full coverage liquid concealer. I have the shade Pink and the shade Light Cool. I did like these. They are a thicker formula, a little bit more mousse-like is what I would say, versus thin. Hopefully you can see that there from the swatch. But I did enjoy these, and I actually thought this color corrector worked really well. So I am pleased with both of these, and I'm going to go ahead and put them back in my drawer to pull out again sometime in the future. I also had these 2 potted concealers in here. These are from Fiona Styles. I had her Peach Corrector, which I really do like as a potted concealer. And then I also had 0102 in her full cover perfect finish concealer. I did like this one quite a bit. I've traveled with this. I've made quite a big divot in here. This is probably one of my go-to travel concealers. When I don't want my concealer to count as a liquid, I will reach for this, but I'm ready to put this one back. This is the little e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. I forgot how much I actually did like this little dude. I used this several times when I was playing in this drawer more, but I'm ready to put this back as well. This is a little MAC paint pot in Painterly. I like this one better than Soft Ochre. I did use this several times. I'm ready to go ahead and put this one back. These are just 2 lip balms that always stay in here, along with my Revlon Photo Ready Concealer that stays in here, along with my Essence Make Me Brow that stays in here. This brow product has historically stayed in here. This is my Brow Archery from Soap and Glory, but I'm trying to work through my IT Cosmetics Universal Taupe eyebrow pencil, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this back because I think there's some other brow products I probably need to play with while I try and use that up as part of my Project Pan, so that's gonna go back. All right, moving back here, my eyeshadow primer, this stays. Milani eyeshadow primer. I've been kind of messing around with the 2 of these, so I'm gonna leave these both in here. This should be back here. This are my Physicians Formula Eye Booster pens. These stay in here, as does my Wet n Wild Ultimate Highlighter. I use this in my waterline. This is an Essence Super Fine Eyeliner Pen and waterproof. Oh yes. So this one just has the biggest, longest, it's crazy. I mean, it really is. This one goes on pretty well, but it's felt tip, so you can already see, like the top of the felt is not working anymore. So I'm just not a fan of felt tip applicators. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of felt tip applicators. I much prefer the brush tip on these. I just feel like they don't get fuzzy on me and don't tend to run out at the tip the way that these do. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this guy. From a mascara perspective, Clump Crusher always stays in here, as does this little Dr. Mascara Fixer. This is just kind of a primer. This little Big Monsieur from Lancome is a sample. It's still going strong, so it's gonna stay. As is this IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I've been pulling this in when I travel. I've not been using it day to day, but I'm gonna leave this in here until it is done. This one I think is starting to go on me. I feel like these dry out really fast, but I feel like I've got probably another month with it before I'm ready to chuck it. So I think I'm probably good for mascara for this next month. So I probably won't change anything here. And then in the back here, we have my sunscreen that always stays in here. I love this one. It is fantastic and super affordable. It's from Etude House, a Korean brand, so love this. This I was playing around with and I thought it was going to be super gimmicky, and I actually really loved it. This is the Origins Original Sin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willow Bark. So it's foaming, which is super strange. When you put it on your skin, it actually has, like I said, it's a foam and it's super cooling, but like the actual texture of this product is super smoothing and really hydrating and gives a really nice base to your skin. So, you know, I really did enjoy this one. It has a light sort of citrus scent to it that I can't quite place. I'm gonna put this back. I use this a lot. I was pleasantly surprised by it. It was one of those ones I bought on a whim at Sephora and I thought I was gonna regret, and now I don't. The other primer that I had in here, this is from Sun & Park. This is their Beauty Filter Cream in Glow. Guys, I just feel like I don't know what I was expecting from this. This is a Korean brand. The packaging is adorable. I thought it was going to be a really nice lotion slash glowy product. And although I do think it gives some glow, you can see that there on my hand. It definitely is slightly glowy, but it's not overly moisturizing and it's not overly glowy. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I would put this on and I just wouldn't feel like I noticed any difference whatsoever. So this one, I don't know. I think I may pass this on to a friend to see if she likes it better than me. She's a little more oily, so maybe she would like a subtle glow that's not super moisturizing. But yeah, I was unimpressed by this. I don't think I would recommend this one. And then the rest of the stuff back here is just my usual blotting sheets and some tools and some lip remover and a lip scrub and blotting papers and all that jazz. So that just stays back in the back there. Okay, next row over, this is face products. I should have mentioned this was a lot more full, but it had a lot of those drugstore products that I was testing. So I've since pulled all of these out of there in order to kind of put them in piles as I'm giving you guys the reviews for, you know, CoverGirl or from Revlon, etc. So anything that was drugstore that was new for spring has gotten pulled out of here. So a lot of the products that were in these drawers are now gone, which is why this drawer is looking kind of floppy and sad. But let's go through what is in here. One thing I was trying was new from Sephora. This was their Bright Future Skin Tint. This had an SPF 25. I hate this. I think it is incredibly greasy feeling. It gives light coverage, which is fine. It's a tinted moisturizer. I don't expect a ton of coverage from it, but it just did not sit on my skin well. It was very, very streaky. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this. So it just, no matter what I did, it never sat on my skin well. So then beyond the streaking, it was also kind of greasy looking. So this is a huge pass for me. I'm gonna just throw this away. I can't even think of anyone I'd want to give this to. This is my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I am in the shade for Porcelain. I was having more issues with this than I remember having. So I don't know if this is starting to go bad on me, but it was clinging to dry patches and was looking really strange. Like, I remember really liking this foundation, and this last go round was not a fan. So I may put this back. I need to do another full declutter through my collection. I don't know if this will make it. I feel like I need to give it one more shot here, maybe in the summertime but yeah, I don't know. It was just clinging to dry patches and settling into fine lines in a way I don't remember doing before. So I don't know, I'm iffy on this one. This is a little sample of the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. I did not care for this one. I found it a little heavy and difficult to work with. So I got a sample of this and the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation. I actually love that and ended up picking it up in the last Sephora sale. This one's just, I don't know, it was okay, but like I said, it just felt very cakey and very heavy and kind of difficult to blend. So I'm gonna go ahead and chuck this sample, not one I'm gonna purchase. This little Wet n Wild Pressed Powder Compact. I actually don't mind this. It's like a baked product for setting your face. It's actually incredibly smooth. Like, it does give you a little bit of extra coverage. So on days where I'm using a tinted moisturizer or I want a little more coverage, this was about the only thing that helped me save the day that I was wearing this. So I do like this powder. It is a talc silica blend, but it also has a lot of dimethicones in it as well, which is what's giving it that sort of smooth, creamy texture. And I think the combination of the silica and the dimethicones, even though this is a talc-based powder, is one of the reasons that I don't mind this all over my face. It does not work to set underneath my eyes, but this is not a bad powder. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I'm just going to put it back and pull in something new. This is a ColourPop bronzer. These compacts drive me crazy because they put absolutely nothing on the back, so I can't even remember what this is. There we go. It's the shade Private Party. Thankfully there's a pin on the back and you can pop these out. So this is shade Private Party. I think I picked this up because of Kathleen Lights, if I recall correctly. It is not a bad shade, so it's a glowy bronzer. It's not a bad shade on me, it's definitely glowy, but I just find that it's so pigmented that I really have to use a pretty light hand with this and just be super careful. And at the end of the day, I just don't want to have to like worry that I'm going to completely mess up my entire face makeup by my bronzer application. So I do think I'm going to pass this along to a friend who is a little bit of a deeper skin tone. This is a NARS blush that I was testing. This is new for spring. This is Free Soul. This is a blush slash almost highlighter. In fact, it almost reminds me of the new shade that came out from Wet n Wild. It's super glowy, but it has a little bit more of an intense pink to it. I really like this shade. It is like, if you want your skin to look super glowy and super bright, like this is going to be your baby. So I don't think this is going to work if you are probably any deeper than maybe medium. In fact, medium is probably even too deep. This may be a fair to light shade only, but yeah, I enjoy this one, but I'm going to put it back. And then these two blushes, this is from City Color. This is one of my favorite shades in the winter time. This is the shade Blackberry. It's just a really interesting muted plum shade. So I do love this, but I'm going to put it back. It's such a pretty shade. And then this is Makeup Revolution, the matte blush in nude. These are like $5 and they are one of the better formulas at the drugstore. I really like that. Oh, sorry, my wrist is wet from swatching here. Let me do it here. There you go. Now you can see that color. So yeah, really pretty. Use both of these. I'm going to put them back. And then back here is where I keep my loose powder. So I've got my CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder, my Glossier Wowder, and my Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder, which is a silica blend powder, really good for blurring pores. I may pull out one of these, but I want to see what's in my drawer as far as loose powders go before I make that decision. And then last section here is looking very empty because once again, I pulled out a bunch of drugstore products, but the White Peach palette was in here from Too Faced. I know this one's gotten a lot of crap, but I actually really like it. I think it's a really pretty sort of pinky peachy palette that goes a little cool or can go a little warm. I get that this doesn't work on all skin tones, but for someone who's as fair as I am, I've actually found that this is really, really pretty, and I really love Peach Sorbet and Peach Smoothie and Sweet Fig. Like, I love these colors. I just think they work so well on me. So you know, I get that this isn't going to be for everyone, but I really enjoy this one, but it's time to put it back. This is a product that I am like the last person on earth to try. This is the Jouer Skinny Dip palette. I did use all the shades in here, I think with the exception of this really deep shade, Midnight Swim. The rest of these I did use. I think they're incredibly foiled. Like, I mean, that's incredible, right? I get why people were so gaga over this palette when it came out. The quality is 100% there. So as far as just having a nice metallic palette, like, I have nothing bad to say about this guy. So love it. Just going to put it back for the time being. These are two CoverFX, what do they call these? Shimmer veils. This is the shade Amethyst and the shade Celestial. Celestial is one that I bought at the store after swatching it because I just thought it looked really pretty and bright and light, and it's kind of got a pink champagne color to it. And then Amethyst is a shade that I got in a BoxyCharm, and it is also really pretty. I have found for some reason that the Celestial shade works a little bit better, lasts a little bit longer than this purpley Amethyst shade. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I'm going to hang on to both of these. And then the last liquid shadow that's in here is the ColourPop Supernova Shadow. This is in Moonlit. It's a burgundy with some gold in it. This shade itself is not bad. I don't know how often I really need a cranberry liquid shadow like this, but I'm gonna hang on to it. I have heard the formula on these is really spotty and not great. I didn't have any problems with this shade, but I've seen enough people that I trust make comments about these Supernova shadows not being great to make me a little nervous about picking up more of them, but yeah, we'll go ahead and put these three back. And then my lip section's looking a little forlorn because I once again pulled out all the drugstore stuff. So these are my little Fenty Beauty 2 samples and a full size. The full size is an interesting color. I just don't know how often I'm gonna wear it. It's shade Single and it's a very, I don't know, it's a very peachy orange color on my skin tone. I think for someone with cool undertones like myself, I don't know how often I'm gonna wear this shade. The formula is a little thicker, but I don't find that it tugs. The shade Candy Venom is their hot pink little sample. I do like this one. I actually think this one goes on a little smoother than this one, and it's incredibly bright, so I do like this guy here. The last shade, I just don't know how often I'm gonna use it, and I felt like I was having problems with it kind of moving around and not really staying put. So I don't know, this is Griselda. This one I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass along. I just don't see myself ever reaching for that shade knowing the problems that I had with it. So I'm gonna put these two back and declutter this one. These are the ColourPop Luxe lipsticks. This is their original satin formula. I'm just gonna open these up and swatch them so you can see the colors quickly. So this is Sitting Pretty. This one I can see myself reaching for in the fall and winter time. This is Ghosted. This one was this is one of my favorite shades, sort of a muted red. Layover. Just a nice mid-tone sort of brownie nude. This is the one I probably reach for the most. Uno Mas. This one was a little light for me. Not bad, but okay. What If, which is a bright pink. I can definitely see myself using this in the summertime. And Money Side Up, which is sort of a muted mid-toned pink. So there are swatches of this. I like this formula. I was expecting to like fall head over heels in love with it. I don't find it lasts very long, and I also find that I have some, not settling, but almost like it settles a little bit around the ring of inside of my mouth. So sometimes I'll look up and I'll have like a white kind of ring going around the inside of my lip. And I think it's just where the product is bunched up or worn off funny. So I still need to play around with these some more. I will probably pick my favorite colors at some point and declutter others, but for the time being, I will go ahead and put these back in my collection. Okay, so now my drawer is pretty empty, so we are gonna reposition the camera and start to do a little shopping. Okay, so I think as far as pulling products into my collection, what I'm gonna do is just work my way through my Alex 9 drawer here, and then I have a couple little drawers over to the side here we'll look at as well. So rather than pulling in product based off of kind of how I would apply it, I think it's just gonna be easier for me to film just working my way through here. So up first, this is my blush drawer. It is out of control. Yeah, it is definitely time for a blush declutter. It is way too full in here. I do kind of have a thought process for how I want to pull products in. I'm feeling very springy. I'd like some brighter, pinkier, pastel-y kind of colors in here. I feel like I've done lots of nudes and mauves and blah, blah, blah of late, but I really would like to pull in some brighter colors. So let's see, what would be good to pull in here? So I definitely am thinking about potentially pulling in both of these butter blushes from Physicians Formula. I do like these. They're a really pretty pastel color. Hopefully the lighting is okay, guys. Actually, pause with me for a minute. Let me see if I can find a better way to light this. Okay, I think that looks a little better, so we'll continue on. So these butter blushes, I think I'm gonna pull both of them in potentially. One's a really pretty coral and one's a really pretty soft pink. They just look like spring to me, so I'm gonna set these to the side. We'll continue looking. I'm going to pull in this Maybelline Fit Me blush. This is in the shade Mauve. Although it says Mauve, it's a very light, sort of a dusty color. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it looks like it's got a shimmer to it. It looks like it might be a nice spring blush. So we'll pull that in. As I think I'm going to pull this in, this is Hourglass Incandescent Electra. It's just a really bright coral with a really nice shimmer to it. So this is just a happy spring color. So we'll pull that in. And let's pull in this Urban Decay blush. This is the shade Obsessed. It's a really bright sort of peony, very blue-based pink, but that looks like spring in a container. So let's go ahead and pull this in. That is plenty from blush drawer, so now let's go one down and look at highlighters and bronzers. Sorry, battery died, so I was saying I'm gonna go ahead and pull this Glam Bronze in. And then what would be another bronzer that could be fun to pull in? I also think I'm going to pull in this Laura Geller bronzer. This is Sunrise Fair. This is their Beat Matte Baked Hydrating Bronzer. Since I've got a bronzer that is more cool toned and glowy, I want to pull in one that's maybe a little warmer and then also is a little more matte. This is a very pretty matte one though, so let's pull that in. That should do me for bronzers. As far as highlighters go, I really want to pull some things in that I haven't pulled in a while, so let me think about this. Let's pull in this Laura Geller one. This is in Pink Charming. I haven't used this in a while. It's a really pretty, bright, light pink, so that'll be fun to pull in for spring. You know what? I also think I'm going to pull in this. This is my Dandelion Twinkle. I haven't used this in a while. I remember really loving it when it came out, and it was a little more subtle and not quite as pink as that one. So I think that would be a good second highlight to have in. And then for a third highlight, I think I'm going to pull this. This is the J-Cat U Glow Girl highlight. This one is more of a true light champagne color. So hopefully you can see. Hopefully you can see there. It's definitely the most intense of the three, so that gives me three really nice tones to work with. So let's pull this guy in. And that should do me for this drawer. Okay, so this is my single eyeshadow drawer along with sort of my potted cream eyeshadows. So I would like to pull some things in here that I don't feel like I have gotten a ton of use out of lately. So let's think about this. Let's pull on this Infallible shadow. This is in Burst into Bloom. I think this might be a discontinued shade, but it's a really bright, springy purple color. So let's grab this. That'll be fun to put on one day. I also think I want to grab, which one was it? Yes, this one. This is from Kiko Milano. This is their Cream Crush shadows. This is in shade 05. I thought it had a name. Maybe it doesn't. But it is a really light, bright, let's see if I can get that here. It's a really light, bright champagne color that is absolutely freaking stunning and so metallic. So that could be fun to play with. So pull that in. What else? What else? What else? What haven't I used in a while? Let's pull this in. So this is from NARS. This is the shade Tarvos. This is a mint green. It is really minty, so that's nice and springy. That'd be fun. You know what, let's also pull this. So this is the Tarte, this is the Chrome Paint in Top Yacht. This is one that has been very crumbly on me, but I also, I mean, you can just see it feels kind of messy, but I also feel like if I can get it to go on my eye without looking totally messy, the intensity of this eyeshadow is without doubt. So having a bright sort of champagne gold could be fun too. So let's do that, and then that will be all from this drawer here. Unlike the past drawers, I haven't unscrewed this. This doesn't come out quite as far, but this is my brow products over here, liners, and then liquid and cream eyeshadows. I do need to pull a brow product. I think I want to pull a pencil and a pomade, so I think I'm going to pull this e.l.f. one. This is the light brown shade. I want to make sure this actually works for me as a brow pomade, and you can see I've barely used it. So let's pull this and kind of evaluate it. Then let's look at some of the pencils that are sitting back here. Brow Archery, we just put back. Gosh, I have a couple skinny pencils, don't I? Gosh, I haven't used this Brow Wiz in so long. I feel like if I don't use this up, it's probably going to go bad on me. In fact, it may already be too dried out. Yeah, this has gone bad. It's too dried out. So that needs to just get tossed. Let's see. What about this L'Oreal one? That doesn't look bad. Let's go ahead and pull in this little Brow Stylist Definer from L'Oreal. We'll pull that in for brow. We'll call that a day. I lie. I'm going to pull in this 3D Brow Tones. I was using it for a while. It's like it's supposed to add some dimension to your brow hair. Let's pull this in. I can't remember how I feel about this. Okay, so now I'm into my regular lipstick drawer. I do have other high-end lipsticks sitting at the very top. We'll look at those probably at the end when I reposition. But I do want to pull a few things from this drawer. Let's pull this. This is the shade Barely Pinking. It is a shine lipstick that looks like it's going to be really nice and springy and comfortable. So nice and balm-like. Let's pull that. Let's also pull this. This is from the Beauty and the Beast collection. This is True Beauty. This is a light pink with a little bit of a gold shift to it. So yeah, that'd be pretty. Let's pull this. This is my Park Avenue Princess from Tarte. This one is a little bit more nude, but also super sheer and easy to wear for spring. And then let's pull this coral shade here. This is Coral Cutie from e.l.f. It's a much a brighter color, but it's a really pretty coral for spring. I'm going to pull this. This is my Essence Matte 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 shade in 03. It's just a nice sort of mauvey. It's just a nice sort of mauvey color, so I think that could be good to pair with some spring looks that I've got going. You know what, let's pull this Beauty and the Beast one in too. It's a nice peachy nude. It's got a little bit more depth to it, so that'll be good from this drawer. Okay, so here are my glosses. I kind of have them in acrylic containers where you can lift them up and look below, etc. So these are more of my lip balms, and I do think I want to pull this in. This is my Dior Lip Addict. This is in Lip Glow 04 Coral. It's a bright coral shade. I just find that it looks so comfy and so flattering on my lips. So, and it's hydrating, so I'm all about that life recently. So we're gonna pull that in. Let's pull in. No, I haven't used this in forever. This is a Buxom gloss. In fact, I should decide if I like it. This is the shade Tanya. If I'm gonna use it, springy looks are gonna be it. So let's pull that in. And then let's also pull in. Let's grab this little Almay shade. This is in Lilac Love. It's a really pretty purpley shade. That could be fun to play with. And let's lift these up and see if there's anything underneath we want to grab. So these are more fully pigmented glosses down here. Let's pull this. This is one of the Essence, I don't know what you are called. I think it's their lip lacquer. I will look it up and put it here on the screen. Yeah, you can see heck of a lot more pigmented. So let's pull that. And then these are more of my lip oils. Let's take this one from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. lip oil in Pink Kiss. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Let's pull that. And then this is my metallized ones down here. I think these are more things I reach for in the summertime. I don't think I see anything that I want to reach for in here. So that'll do me for this drawer. Okay, so the next three drawers are actually all eyeshadow palettes and little quads and things like that. So I think I want to pull one thing from each drawer. Maybe more than that. I'm not entirely sure. So let's think about this. Yep, let's pull this in. So this is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself eyeshadow palette. Super fun, pretty colors. I really enjoy this guy. So let's pull this in. I know I said I was only going to pull one thing from each drawer, but I think I'm going to pull this in too. This is my Ocean Sunset Unzipped palette from Lorac. I think this could be a really good pairing palette for some of the things that I've picked, and I also really just enjoy it. I haven't used it since I tested it, so I'm going to pull this guy in as well. Okay, next drawer down is just kind of a mixture of high-end and low-end and indie brands and so on and so forth. I think I already know what I want to pull from here. So I think I want to pull in this. This is the Deuce palette by Juvia's Place. Like, come on, that is totally spring. So let's pull that from this drawer. Tempted to pull in one of these Buxom palettes though. Yeah, let's pull this one in too. So this is the little Buxom palette that I made that I haven't played with in a while. So this will give me some more cool toned brown shades. So let's pull this in. And then this is the last drawer here in my Alex 9. This is all drugstore palettes. You know what, let's pull in this. So this is the NYX Ultimate multi-finish shadow palette. This is in Super High. I talked about this in my declutter, and it was one that I hadn't played with in a while, but I really did like all of the tones, and I liked the fact that you have mattes and satins and then really high sort of metallic shines here. So this looks like it could have some fun colors to pair with some of the things that I have pulled. Okay, so that takes us through Alex 9 drawer. Let's step over a little bit and look at my foundations and primers. Okay, so here is my foundations and concealers. I kind of have these organized by cushion compacts, glowy, natural, more matte finishes, and then BB creams back here. And then these are all of my concealers kind of just piled back there. So let's think about what do we want to grab. Okay, let's take this in. So this is my Laneige compact. This is actually in their pore control format. This one was a little too drying on me in the winter, but now that it's getting warmer and I definitely don't feel like I'm as dry as I was in the wintertime, I did want to give this another shot to see how I felt about it. So I'm going to pull this guy in. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what I felt about this one. So let's pull this in. This is my MAC Mineralized Foundation. This is in NW15. So let's pull this in. Let's also pull this. This is my Hourglass Stick Foundation. I'm trying to remember also how I felt about this, so let's pull this in. Then I'm also going to pull in this Misha. This is their Real Complete BB Cream. They're definitely known for this sort of rusty burgundy one. That's one they're most popular for, but I want to be able to compare these two, and I want to spend a little more time with this, so we will grab this BB as well. Let's pull in this BH Cosmetics Bare Pro Concealer. I want to spend some more time with it, and then we'll just make it a Laneige kind of day. Let's pull in the Laneige Cushion Concealer, and that should do me for concealers. This is my primer and powder drawer, so let's start with primers. Let's pull a couple things in we haven't tried in a while. Let's do this. This is the Body Shop Vitamin C Skin Booster. I remember really liking this one, but I haven't used it in a while, so let's grab this. Then let's grab a glowy one from this side. Let's actually grab this. This is the Misha BB Boomer. This is a BB boosting cream, so it's meant to be a primer that's slightly glowy if I remember correctly, so we'll pull that in. And then I also don't remember what I thought about this. We're gonna pull this in. This is an Old Flower primer. This is just their perfecting primer. I think this one is still out, but let's pull that in. And then as far as face powders go, you know what, let's pull in this. This is my Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth. So this one I haven't used in a while. We'll pull this in. And I also haven't used this. This is the Hard Candy. This is their color correcting finishing powder. So this one actually has a little bit of a sheen to it. So it actually works well for kind of buffing on the skin. So let's pull that guy in as well. Okay, so ignore the mess up here. This is where I've just been throwing products as I've been picking them, but this is my face palette drawer, and then I've also got some cream highlighter products over here. So let's start down at that end. I think I want to pull in a lavender highlighter. I haven't used one in a while. This is the NYX Bright Idea one. This is in Lavender Mist. So let's pull that in. Let's also pull in a liquid bronzer. We haven't done that in a while. We don't have a lot of cream products, so need to shake this up clearly, but let's pull this in. This is from Temp 2. This is a liquid bronzer that I actually really did enjoy quite a bit, so we'll pull this in. Let's do some face palettes because I feel like they're getting really neglected. So let's bring this in. This is my Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. It has a nice set of pinky blushes, also some more neutral shades, which I didn't pull from other blushes, so it'd be nice to have some neutral stuff with me, and I haven't used this in a while, so let's pull this in. And then I may be pulling entirely too much, but let's pull this e.l.f. palette in. This is a lot of fun. This is their Total Face palette. It has 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a really pretty subtle highlighter, so that could be fun for spring. So let's pull that in, and then we'll leave this drawer alone. Okay, I've got some reflect going on here, but up here on the board are all of my ColourPop shadows, so I want to pull a couple of ColourPop every time we do this. I think I'm going to pull in the shade Frog, which is new for spring. It's a really pretty duochrome shifting shade, so let's pull in Frog. And then I haven't used this in a while. This is Telepathy. This is a shade that Kathleen Lights did for ColourPop. I freaking love this chartreuse green, so let's pull that in. And let's pull a matte. This is the shade Cornelius from Kathleen Lights collection as well, so this is just a nice sort of warmer toned matte shade, so we'll pull that in. All right, I lied. I'm also going to pull this in. This is the shade Special Delivery from ColourPop. I think it's a really pretty minty green, so let's pull this in too. Okay, and then on top of my Alex 9 drawer, I have these kind of stacked Muji drawers with my liquid lipsticks and some lip pencils and things like that. So I'm going to pull a few things from here. The angle of this makes it kind of hard for me to see what I'm filming, so hopefully I can make this work. If ever there was a time for the shade Ransom from Buxom, it is the springtime. It's just a really bright light pink color, so we'll pull that in. I am also going to pull in the shade Frida from ColourPop. I think this one is discontinued, but it's a lovely rosy pink. I'm also going to pull in the nude stick in the shade Blossom. It's a little more cool toned nude. All right, let's also pull this in. This is a Revlon matte balm in the shade Sultry. That is it on the top there. It's just a nice rose, so let's grab that. Let's pull this in. This is from Huda Beauty. It is the shade Bombshell. Let's pull that in. That is from Jouer. That is one of their liquid lipsticks. I'm noticing that my Jouer liquid lipsticks might be starting to go bad on me. This is the shade Orchid, so that looks like a very pretty spring color there. All right, these are ColourPop Ultra Satins. Let's see here. Let's grab this guy at the end. What is this? This is November. This is Kathleen Lights color. Let's swatch and make sure we're happy with it. Yep, let's do that. So up at the top here are some of my higher end lipsticks, my Charlotte Tilbury's, some MAC, some Bite. Actually, you know what? Let's grab one of these matte shakers. Let's grab this guy here. This is the matte Juicy Shaker in Beige Vintage. Yeah, that might be nice to have. Let's pull that in. That's that there at the top. And then last lipstick we're going to pull, this is from MAC. This is the shade Nippon. This is one of their cream sheen formulas. It's just a really bright, pretty coral shade, so that's going to be really comfy to wear, so let's pull that. Okay, so here is everything in the drawer. I'm actually surprised, but it all fits really well. I thought I was maybe picking too many things, especially in the face category department or perhaps eyeshadows, and I was actually able to get everything in here very easily. I did have to put the face palette from Gwen Stefani over here because there wasn't room in the center drawer, so hopefully I remember to pull it in. But yeah, I think we've got a nice mix of colors. I'm feeling very springy in here. Just looking at these sort of purpley, green, pinky shades down here is just putting me in the spring mood. So I am really excited to be playing with this drawer. I will report back to you guys in a month or so, let you know how everything has been going with these, and we'll do another switcheroo. Hopefully this was fun for you guys, because I feel like this is getting you into my collection a little bit more versus me just putting in a whole bunch of new products. So hopefully this was enjoyable for you all. Let me know down in the comments below how you feel about the change of kind of the filming style of this video. Would love your input. But I look forward to talking to you guys soon in my next video. Thanks so much.